Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button and I'm here with a new project. So we're going to do a slow stitch. I have been working on my scissor pouch. Let me just get that because I need a few things. So this is my craft tote that I've been working on. I need my pins and where's my scissor pouch? So I've attached a little scissor keep to it. I don't know if I want it to be that long. I just did some finger knitting with some of my kind of cotton. So I've got a pin needle, we've got little scissors, I've got some bigger scissors inside, of which I might use today. 2 sets of scissors. There's some fabric to make a little needle book. And then that's the other side. So I've still got a few other flowers to sort of stitch down, and then I might do some words. I'm thinking about the words that I would like to put on. We have the Vintage Button, but I might want some different things. So that's that. It's developing, but that's not what I want to do with you all today. I would like to work on this. Now it's something I've already started. It's another bag from a pair of trousers. The construction is slightly different, whereas the craft tote has like a round bottom, so it's kind of sits. I'll bring it back up again. It sits in the round like that because its base has got a circle for the base. That's not what I want for this one. It's got a flat. Let's put all these pretty bits to the side. You can see the construction. It's just got a flat base. So basically I cut the legs off. I went up the crotch seam just so that it would lie flat, as if you were making a skirt from a pair of jeans or a pair of trousers. I whip stitched that down. This is a back stitch, just one of the legs folded over on each side to make like a big sort of messenger type bag. I've not lined it yet because I want to do lots of crazy stitching, and then I think I want to line it. On the back, I've still kept the pockets. They were like a pair of chinos in this sort of army drab green colour. I have already started. I've got a little bird that I've just done some stitch marking with my wools to kind of highlight the bird. And then I have these flowers that came from a dress that I bought from a charity shop last weekend that has all of these sort of appliques. So I'm going to use those as well as this big bird that goes with this. So we've got the little bird there. It's a little bit twee, but I quite like it. I'm embracing my whimsy and my tweeness in my old age. What I want to do now is have all my bits and pieces. I have this big bird. So this is from a fabric sample, and it was 1 page out of a fabric sample book. And I've actually, in this fabric sample book, I think there was 4 of these birds. So one of them is becoming a robin and is a project that's sort of been mothballed. One of them is working on this, and then the other 2, or might be other 1, is still in the stash waiting for something to happen. So I have this bird. It's kind of got full of threads already. The bird's going to sit there, and then we have sort of a mixture of things. We've got this big branch, and I thought that this would be nice. And I've got smaller branches for the other side. This would be nice here. So that's definitely going to happen. And we have to think about a couple of things. We have to think about the use of these appliques and just how, because I just want to sort of like overlay them. Kind of overlay them like that so that they just sort of enhance the kind of watery colour. That looks nice, I like that. I'm going to do some snipping up of other bits and pieces. But I think you kind of understand what I mean. Here's the other bits. And I have so much of this that I can cut more for the back as well. We're just going to do the front today. Now, the netting I will cut closer. But we could just have that. Or it could actually, I think I like it just sort of overlaying to like add some texture. And I can use buttons as well on the grapes, but I think I want to use, so I want to use the flowers. Let's do some snipping. So yeah, I haven't asked you how you are. Are you okay? It's Sunday, kind of lunchtime-ish. I thought I would make a video. I go back to work tomorrow. And when I say I go back to work, I actually work from wherever I want to work in my house most days. But I start work again tomorrow after a week off. Now, it's just working out, where do I want these things to be? Kind of do like that there. And then yeah. So I've had not the week that I was hoping for. We didn't get to go out on any adventures or anything because the weather wasn't good. The weather's turned quite nice now, but we have just got to get our house in order basically before the start of the working week. You know, make sure all the washing's put away and things like that. I want to cut that there. Perhaps I need to go and peg some washing out. We line dry in the UK. I know people handle their laundry differently in different parts of the world, but certainly in this house we line dry. Okay, I like that. I want something here. Do I want to move that one? I think I do. Put that there. Oh yeah, I like that. And then I don't know, that might be enough. What do we think? I don't want to overdo it. And then the next thing, I also have, I have these. I don't know, snipping. I do have these, but I keep thinking, I'm going to use it on this, and then it never quite works out. I don't know if it's going to quite work out here, but I know one thing that might work. Let's have a look. What have I got? I was thinking I have this doily, and now I want to sort of make wings and kind of like just have bits from the doily kind of cut out and overlaid, and then use the wools to create the colour, so a little bit of texture. Don't quite know how I'm going to do that, but let's have a look at that. I like that. You can hear somebody talking and somebody's decided to cut the lawn. The talking is my daughter who's playing with her friends online, and I don't know which neighbour's doing whatever gardening they're doing. So I hope you can hear me. I'll have to enunciate and speak louder. There we go. So that's what I'm initially thinking with this to enhance the bird. What should we work on first? I have a feeling we need to build the bird up, and then we can come back and revisit this. I mean, I have quite a good idea of what I want from those pieces, and I can always watch the video for the reference. So let's take the bird out and work on that today. Find a project bag to put it all in. Okay, so we have this, our bird, and today I think we need to just apply these, and then I have some different coloured wools. So on the back, let me have a look on the back. We did purples and blues, so we'll have some purples and blues, but I think I want to bring pink in. So we've got that pink, got like these types of purples, and then there was a blue. Let's see, what kind of colour blue? It was that blue. So it was that purple and that blue, but I quite like that purple as well. Do I like that pink? I think I prefer that pink. Yes. Okay, so we've got our colour palette. We've got our doily that we're going to sort of hack up into bits and attach. I think I need some thread to just sort of tack things down. Let's have a look for thread. Hold on one moment. So I've got my nice new big desk, but I've got my laptop on because I'm watching a series on the BBC iPlayer as I've been fiddling around. Okay, I've had enough of current affair podcasts. Okay, so we'll need yellow for the beak, but we'll get to that. Is this doily? Let's have a look at the shapes on the doily. I don't know how well you'll see that, but there are sort of shapes. That's a wing shape, and that's also a wing shape, and then there's other sort of like longer, you know, that would be good for the tail. So we will just have a see what we like. I do apologise for the noise. I don't think there's any real good time, is there though? Right, I'm going to start cutting into this. It always feels a bit sacrilegious to cut into a doily, but it is kind of what I want. That's why it was bought. Okay. There we go. And the noise has stopped. Hallelujah. Okay. Kind of want that together. Okay. Let's have a look now. We've got like a piece. Ooh, do I want that? Or do I want that like that? I do like that. So let's just snip there and there. what we decided on. I can't remember. There we go. Then I kind of like, I like that as a wing, but I don't like that bit. Do I want it? No, I don't. So yeah, so I do hope you're alright. Let's do a little bit. Oh. Let's... Now somebody's banging with a hammer. Kind of is that time of year where you're doing things. You know, you're doing things in the garden, aren't you? And things to the house. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's have a look. Now then, do we leave this plain? I think it would be too much if I started working down here. Do we do that? That might be nice actually, and have it trailing off onto the trouser, you know, like the green of the trouser, having the bit stuck out. Okay, I like that. Okay. So I'm going to just start by very lightly tacking it. I have myriad colours, so I could go and probably find a colour to match it, but that would mean going in the other room. There we go. I just want to lightly tack it anyway. So we're going to pin it and then tack it. I scratched myself doing that purse thing. The dangers of slow stitching. The week before I finished work, we had like there was a competition. You know, you have like these well-being things. There was a competition to make an Easter wreath, and so I took a load of things in, hot glue, and we bought a hula hoop and we made this quite amazing wreath. Just like odd 10 minutes here and there, like comfort break type things throughout the day. It was two Thursdays actually, because we had like lunch breaks on it, and we chatted through a work meeting, bits of a work meeting actually, not a lot. We didn't actually spend that much time on it, but it does look quite amazing. And it's hot glue, and obviously it gets all over your hands. I don't really like using hot glue now because I don't like the plastic content in it, but yeah, it was funny. I said, this is why crafters don't have nice nails, and it is really why I don't have nice nails and nice hands, because I choose to put my efforts into this rather than... I have got some OPI like nail envy on the desk here, on my little secretary desk, and I keep looking at it and I think, nah, I can't be bothered. I don't know why it's on that desk. It's probably there to remind me to do it. Okay, so here we are. We're just gonna attach it, and not even that much really, I don't think. I think the wool, because we're gonna mix the wool in with it as well, the wool will really be the thing that we can attach it with. It's beautiful outside, and it is going to be really nice next week. One of the jobs I did do yesterday was I got all my winter clothes put away, and I got all my dresses out and hung them up in the wardrobe. You know, had a quick look to see what needs fixing, if anything. I will admit that I had a look at my winter dresses and stuff and thought, what needs mending? But I haven't mended anything. I just put them away. I don't even know, because I'm on this weight loss journey. I don't know if I'll be fitting into those things by winter anyway. I think they'll be too big. But I'll just put them away anyway, because there might be, I can amend them. I don't know. I'll treat myself to some new things. We shall see. But it was nice to do that, because when you're in the in-between seasons, I don't know if you're like this, I'm like this, I sort of end up having all the winter stuff out and nothing quite fits like away properly, because I still have the winter stuff just in case it's a bit chilly, and then I start getting the summer stuff out, so it's this mixture of things. Yeah. So now it's all away. There's a few things. I have like a clothes horse in my bedroom that's sort of the overflow. That on the top of the blanket box at the bottom of the bed, you know, those sorts of situations. I thought, no, I want it all away. We've been collecting vintage mirrors, and my husband bought me quite a large oval one. We've got another couple of oval ones, so eventually they will be hung on the wall like a cluster. I just think it'll suit the room and the vibe we've got going on in there. I want to do some wallpapering and finish painting it off. Yeah. So we shall see now. I might do the next one. I'm just looking at this thinking, because I want to paint some of these doilies. Wouldn't this be amazing if I sort of cut it up where I wanted it and then painted the different pieces, different colours? With I was just thinking watered down acrylic paint. It's not something that I would wear, you know, it would be on either a piece of art or something. Yeah, so I think we might do that. I like how one thing inspires another. I don't like how my cotton is catching on that pin. So we're just sort of roughly tacking this on. quite glad the doily is actually holding together. I always worry when you chop a doily up, don't you? You think, oh, is that going to hold? But it generally does. And if it comes a little bit frayed, that's okay too. Really not going to worry. It's part of the adventure. I do, however, want these to stay a little bit intact, so we will work our way around. We need to do something with our lawn. It's a kind of, it's not north, it's sort of east-west facing garden, so we don't get the most sunshine, and we have a large bay tree. I think that's sucked all the moisture. I don't want to get rid of the bay tree because it's a bay tree. It's very useful for cooking. And it's a beautiful tree. It needs a bit of a groom, I think. There's a clematis growing up it at the minute. But it's not a very pleasant back garden, just because it was a bit neglected before we moved in, and then we're not great gardeners, so it's a lot smaller than the garden we used to have in Cambridge. But really, I think it's more than what we want to handle. So I'm thinking that there's a lawn, and it doesn't grow very well, this lawn, and I'm thinking I might just get rid of this lawn. Put some slate down or something. Here we go. I'm liking this. Here we go. Right. Shall I go down there, and then I'll finish this and get a new bit of thread. I like that these birds are sort of bland enough that you can make them into anything. I do have another piece of sample fabric, but it's got like a toucan on it. And I'm off to think, what can I do with that? I think it's just a bit much, so that's why I'm like, it never gets made into anything. I sort of periodically get it out and go, what can I do with you? Perhaps I need to put it in a giveaway, a bundle. Challenge somebody, what would you do with it? Okay. So this is going to take some time. I do want it as a summer bag, but I'm like, it's not going to happen, is it? Not if I want to do things on camera. And I want to do the, I might just applique the other bits and pieces on, and then without putting this on. And then next time do like the stitch marking and painting with the wool together, because I think that might be interesting. Okay. I do like how the doilies changed it. Let's put a bit more on. And then, yeah. I love the variety, slow stitching. Like, I was having a little bit of a peruse on Pinterest and Facebook, And I do look, and I like this about junk journaling actually, because junk journaling, you can put your own spin on things and make things your own. You can be very formulaic in it, even though it lends itself to being very spontaneous, and you can be very formulaic. And I think when you first start doing junk journaling, you kind of tend to do that. And I think there are things that I do that are very formulaic, but I also try and make things my own. And that's what I love about slow stitching as well, is that you can utterly make things your own. And there are, you can buy kits and stuff, and some people like that. It's like, people who buy with the junk journaling, like you buy lots of resources rather than finding it. Everybody's got a different way of creating and expressing themselves. You can also just let the resources inspire you. Resources that you find. And that's what I really enjoy. So we're just tacking. Tacking. Then we'll see how it looks. I want to do a big sort of label. I'm using my stamps. I've got them in front of me where I've made my own stamp and choose a vintage button kind of label and add that onto it as well. I think that might be on the back rather than the front, or I could do two. I don't mind. Okay. Getting there. So, do you cut things up like this, or is this? I don't know. See, I used to really struggle with cutting things up. It's the same with the books and stuff. I used to struggle with that, the junk journaling. But then it gives these things a new lease of life. And this is why I bought it. So okay. Don't wanna. Trying to work out how to do it. Where to put the next stitch. See, and I think it's better doing it this way rather than like stitching it onto the fabric. We might, for the stitch painting I might do that because I'll have a more stable background. But for this bit, this sort of tacking bit, I think it's better that I can hold on to these pieces. And I can take that pin out. Let's finish up here. will be going over this, I think, with some of the wool. Just odd little bits here and there will really help it all come together. Just gives that texture that I wanted. Because like the fabric's really lovely, the original fabric with the bird, and I love the watercolour effect, but it is quite just flat because it's just one layer really, and I think the textures in the layers, like kind of collaging up. Oh, I'm going to go and have some lunch in a little bit. See what needs to be doing downstairs. Then I might come back in the craft room later on. I don't think I'll make any more videos today. I would like to get some sort of schedule up and running, but I just feel like since I got COVID in October, I've already talked about like the energy stuff, and then just other stuff has been, I think it's a season in life where things just have been a bit complicated. Not just like energy and health wise, there's other things going on as well in the background, and it means you kind of have to just do things when you've got the energy to do them. Okay. Right, I'm going to start off there and then work my way around, I think. Okay. Still lying flat. Go. And so some of these wools, I got them from Emmaus last week, like in a big bag full of odds and ends, and it looks like some of them have been from garments that have been like unravelled. So I find that interesting because it's like the pieces of thread of, you know, they've been through different processes and purposes, and this is probably going to be the last process and purpose, and hopefully it will last a while. And you know, I think art, you know, a piece of art, kind of telling a story, even if it's only, and I think this is what, like, if I'm getting philosophical about like what I do and what we all do when we sort of craft, is we are sort of, just want to tack that bit down, putting a bit of ourselves into it, a bit of like our story and why we do these things, what we're thinking about, what we're processing as we're doing it. So, you know, I do think it's art. You don't have to have an art degree to produce art. You don't have to have a lot of talent to produce art. Yep. There we go. That's the thing about the pins, they tangle up on the pins. And the unusual shapes of material. We've got new neighbours next door, And the neighbours we had last, like, a while ago, it's a rented house next door, so it is quite fluid. But since we've been here, I think this is the third lot of people who live there. But the last neighbours had a little boy, and if it was nice outside, you could just hear him playing, just pottering around playing. I always like that. Kind of get outside and do some playing. But it's quiet now, other than people doing their DIY. I don't think there are any other little kids on this block. The house this side, because I'm on a terrace, that means like all the houses are joined together. That's empty. It has been sold, but I don't know if it's completed because the sold sign's still there. It's not been moved, so I don't know where. It takes a long time to buy a house in this country. It's such a convoluted process, and that you're at the will of the solicitors basically. When we bought this house, we were no chain, so that means that we weren't selling our house to move in here. We were moving from rented accommodation, and our vendor, the person we were buying the house off, he didn't have a chain. He had somewhere to go. He bought, basically had an offer accepted on a house that didn't have a chain, that was sat empty. I was sort of desperate to move. We did get some money off because of that, which was unfortunate for him, but fortunate for us. So we were like almost straight away. I think we looked at it once, and then we put an offer in. And he didn't give us that full offer, but there was some money off. And we thought, oh, okay, that was in April. It was about this time. And we moved in at the end of August because of the solicitors. And it just was ridiculous. Like, what are you doing? They have to do searches and stuff, but we are living in a digital age. The searches shouldn't take that long. And it's not like it's an unusual place. It's just a kind of a road in a town. Yeah, it just, and it's excruciating waiting. So you put your offer in, and then you have to start the process, and then you exchange contracts. And once you've exchanged contracts, then you're sort of in it, but then you have to wait for you to complete, which is when money and keys change hands. Oh, and it was the end of August. It was ridiculous. Shouldn't have taken that long, but it did. So that's why, like, the house next door, I don't know whether, and then I don't know what they're going to do when they, if they buy it, move in. I don't know if it's going to be another rented property or a family. It'd be nice if it was a family. The side, we have like property rules. I don't know if you have this in other countries, where like, it's particularly because all these properties are sort of abutted against one another. So like the garden fence, if you're looking out of your window, normally you own what's on the right of you, and so that the next house own what's on the left, and so the left hand fence needs to be replaced, at least a couple of panels. And I noticed the cat jumped on it. The cat's quite a big cat, our cat. He's a big tabby with a tuxedo. It's very, very beautiful, my cat. And yeah, he kind of He jumped on it the other day when I was pegging washing and the whole thing shook. I thought he's going to bring that down. Yeah. There's several pounds of chunky cat there. I mean, it's not that expensive to replace the panels. We probably just would end up doing it, but it would be a bit annoying if we had to. There we go. Well, we'll put it in situ so we'll see what it looks like, and then I think we might call that a day because it's sort of phase one. I don't really want to get into the next phase. Oh, I do like that. That's just what I wanted. I didn't do it on this one because I thought it was a bit like a chick, like a baby one. So I was like, no, I don't want it. I just want to do the wool. But if we can imagine, so we'll do the same thing with the wool for the beak. And it's kind of tacked down with the yellow thread. And then we will add some of these colours. Kind of in the plumage and down here. Just with the stitch marking. Yeah, I like it. I like it. So I think what I'll do next, and I'll do that off camera, is I'm just going to stitch the appliques on and stitch this on so that it's kind of all stable, and then we'll go in, do that, we'll go in with the other bits. Did we want to do it that way? Not that way, I can't remember. I will have a look. And there was another bit, wasn't there, for down here. But we can start to see. Oh, there's that other bit for down here. Yeah, we can start to see it. So then we'll be putting these kind of colours. See, I don't know now, I'm looking at this. Do we want to be putting some of these in? I don't know about that. I'll have a think. What do we think? So we'll just sort of put some stitches over or in the gaps. It might be in the gaps in some of the bits. We'll have to see. But I do like it. I like this. This feels feathery. And I like that. How that works. Yeah, I like it a lot. So that's the beginning of a new bag. If you've enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, comment, do all the little YouTubey things. I'd love to hear what you think and what your thoughts are about things like this. Is this what you do? How you enjoy your slow stitching? Right then, I'm going to go and have some lunch. See what we can have for dinner. Chicken, I think. Might do it in the air fryer. Be easier. Yeah. Alright then, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.